Hello everyone. Today I'm here to explain you all the poem. The Ball poem. So the title of the poem itself says that it's about a ball. So before going through the poem, so let me get introduced with the poet of today's poem, that is John Berryman. So he was an American poet and a scholar. He is best known for Dreams song. So his period is from 1969, which was a sequence of 385 poems. He won Pulitzer Prize for the Dream songs. He also won National Book Award. So he was bit very familiar during the time period of 1969, and he is an American poet, and he was very popular for the sequence of 385 poems. So this is up to the information about your poet. So let me share my screen with the poem now. So here you go. Though it is very playful and the ball is used for playing and for just for our relaxation and entertainment purpose. But here the poet explains a kind of the other point of view when the ball is lost. So let's go with the introduction of the poem. A boy loses a ball. He is very upset. A ball does not cost much, nor it is difficult to buy another ball. Why then is the boy so upset? Read the poem to see what people think things has been lost and what the boy has to learn that from the experience of losing something. Yes, as I already told you. So this might be very light poem for the just the outer come view, but it has a very depth in its meaning. So what is that? So let me go with the brief introduction of the poem now. The poet John Berryman, through this poem, that is the ball poem, he tries to describe the reality of life which everyone has to face one day. He has touched the topic of how to stand up against the miseries and sorrows of life. The poet is talking about a little boy who has lost his ball and he was playing with this ball. The ball skipped from his hand and went to the nearby water body. The poet says that the sight of the boy losing his favorite ball made him think about the boy and his reaction to this situation. He further says that the boy was helplessly looking into the water where his ball had gone. He was sad and was trembling with fear. He got so immersed in his sorrow that he kept standing near the harbor for a very long time and kept on looking for his ball. The poet he also describes that he could console him that he may get new balls, or he could also give him some money to buy another ball. But he stops himself doing because he thinks that money may bring a new ball but will not bring the memories and the feeling attached to the lost ball. Yes, he's true enough. He further says that the time has come for the boy to learn his responsibilities. Here the poet wants to say that now the boy will learn the toughest lesson of his life, the lesson of accepting the harsh realities of life, that one day we will lose our loved ones and our loved things also. This is what the introduction of the poem now. So let me read out the poem for you people and explain the things. What if the boy now, who has lost his ball, what is he to do? I saw it go, nearly bouncing down the street and then nearly over there. He is in the water. The poet is talking about a boy who has lost his ball. He wants to know about him and his reaction because he has lost his ball, and the poet has seen the ball going way away from the boy. And he says that the ball was very cheerfully jumping up and down in the street, and that means when the ball skipped from the boy's hand, it went into the street and later on it fell into the nearby river. So that is all it meant of the 4 lines of the poem. Let's go further. So let me continue reading for you people. So no use to say, oh, there are other balls, and ultimate shaking grief fixes the boy, and he stands rigid, trembling, staring down all his young days into the harbor where his ball went. I would not intrude on him a dime. Another ball is worthless. Now he sends first responsibility. So in these lines, the grief, it's nothing but a sorrow, rigid, it's fixed, trembling. He was shaking in the harbor, a dock or a port. Intrude, invader, dime, low sense. The worthless, it's valueless and useless. And the poet says that there is no benefits of consoling the boy by saying that he will get another ball because he has other balls too. He says so because the boy is feeling very sad. He is completely surrounded by sorrow. He is very sad now because all the memories of his childhood days went down into the harbor. With the ball, which has now gone into the water, reminds him of those sweet memories of the times when he owned it. This would be a greatest loss which is unbearable for him, and his grief strikens. The poet says that he cannot even tell the boy to take some money from him in order to buy another ball. He says, so because the new ball will bring the sense of belonging to the boy. But furtherly thinking of, the poet says that the time has come for the boy to learn his own responsibilities of taking care of his own things. So that's very important, to take care of your belongings on your own without depending on anybody. And he also says in the further poem, in a world of possessions, people will take balls. Balls will be lost always. Little boy. And no one buys a ball back. Money is external. He is learning. Well, behind his desperate eyes, his epistemology of loss, how to stand up, knowing what every man must one day know, and know many days how to stand up. John Berryman. So in this last lines of the poem, he says that the boy has to learn that in this materialistic world, many of his belongings will be lost. He personifies the ball itself as if it is a belonging to be the worldly thing and the relationships he is in possession of. So he says that he has to learn to live without them, no matter what it may be. He says no one can buy back such things for him. The poet says so because, according to him, money cannot buy you everything. If it does buy you something materialistic thing, still, it will not be able to buy the sense of belongingness. He says that the boy is learning how to stand up against the sense of the lost things This means that the boy is trying to learn the real truth of life, which states that you have to accept the mysteries of life and stand up again. This is the truth which everyone has to learn in his or her life. The harsh truth of life is to standing up against the odd miseries of life that everyone has to bear in their lives. So, this is what the poem is all about, the ball of the poem. When we have lost something, we should learn to move on. It might be the loss of the thing or it might be a loss of person. Yes. Without diverting our minds and having a bad thoughts and sorrowful mindset, we should learn to move on. So the poet tries to say that don't get so attached to the materials and the materialistic life, but have a self-confidence and a belief in you and the responsibility of taking care of all your belongings, and everything will be fine. And you have to learn to move on in your life. Whatever may be the situation, we have to get balanced of the good and even the bad situations. So that is up to your poem, the ball of the poem. Hope you people will have understood the poem. So I'll be meeting you up in my next video. So till by then, please do revise the poem, and happy learning, children.